Hello, everybody. Welcome to ANATAD Podcast. We are going live, but we must wait for 1 minute for all the podcast platform to be live. Then we will begin. Thank you. Okay, looks like we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to ANATAD Podcast. My name Ivan the Great, and we got Vladov here with me. We replaced Nemar and Marco. We are in Russia. How are you today, Vladov?
Hello, very good, thank you. I'm not sure if I'm Russian or Greek. I'm mixed. Very confusing. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode. Well, this is a special episode, Nima. I suppose you call it an extra.
Yes, this is an unboxing. Nope, we're not unboxing. This is an unpacking of the Google event.
Aluminium.
Yes. We are glad that you're with us on this supposedly National Podcast Day, although I think it's National something day every day, so I don't really care too much about it.
It's
But
some
anyway,
other day today as well. Somebody told me it was a national day for something else, and I've forgotten what it is, which is not very good. But it is a national day for a couple of things, I believe, today. So,
all right.
yes, very good.
Well,
So
we're
happy
glad that you're
National
with
Day.
us. Look, hey, our numbers went from 3 to 1, so I think people didn't
Oh.
like our Russian speaking, I guess. But
They thought they were tuning into some international espionage or something. I don't know.
yes.
Now, Warren is not with us today because he is at church, I believe, or doing something of a similar ilk. So we pray that he'll be okay and be back with us on Saturday night.
That's right. Austin says, come fast. He says, Salamu alaikum. And what else does he say? He says, can I get some Russian vodka? Yes, you have to ask
Oh,
Gary
wow.
for that one.
So at 2 p.m. your time, Nimmer, so what was that, about 6 hours ago, Google had its 5 unveiling.
That
It's a
was
little
11 a.m. my
premiere.
time, 2
Or
p.m.
11,
Pacific time,
sorry, my
or Eastern
apologies.
time. Yeah,
So what was that, about 9 hours ago or something?
9 hours, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting stuff that came out for all the Google fanboys. Maybe rattle through quickly what we had.
Yeah.
So we had
So
a couple of phones that came out, the 4A, 5G, and the 5, which we all knew about. And we also had a new Chromecast device. We had a new speaker, which is now called the Nest, not the Google Home anymore. And what was the 5th device? There was something else, wasn't there?
That was it. But along that process,
that
we
was
also
it.
got a new app called Google TV.
Oh, yes, that's right, which we'll talk about with the new Chromecast
Yeah.
device.
Okay, so let's start out with the boring stuff, shall we? And then we'll get to the more important stuff. Let's start out with the Google TV Chromecast type device. So this device is really special because it comes with a remote. It
Now,
also
looking
is
at this
4K.
remote, it's a fascinating remote as well, Nimmer, because apparently it has couple of buttons on there, which one for YouTube and one for Netflix.
That's right.
That's pretty cool.
So this thing is $50 in the U.S. And if you buy it, you can get a special promotion where you can get Netflix for 6 months and pay $80, I
80
believe
something.
it is.
Yeah,
$80.
something like
I have to look at the exact offer, but somewhere $80. So,
I'm sure you'll put
pretty
it in
good
the show
deal.
notes.
yep, pretty good deal. And
The
as
cool
I said,
thing,
it's a
I guess, is
4K
that you
device. It'll play.
and the remote will allow you to navigate, obviously, around your Google TV, which is what we were talking about before. So that is not to be confused with Android TV, I think it's called, isn't it?
Yep.
Two separate
$89.99
things.
is the Netflix.
Ah, okay.
So this device, is Google TV. Kind of organizes your shows into a single screen. It's a very nice app that's actually going to be coming to Android. So you can do more with your TV using the voice remote. Apparently it's a voice remote. You can search for genres and titles and lots of other things. Google TV organizes all your content across different services, which is good. 700,000 movies, TV episodes. Lots of
And
good
obviously,
stuff.
I think you mentioned before it supports 4K HDR
Yep, HDR,
with 60
Dolby
frames
Atmos.
per second. Yep, Dolby Atmos is definitely supported, all the Dolby stuff, so that's pretty cool. And obviously it's still USB plug. It's plug and play, same as the previous.
So colors are
Chromecasts.
apparently, and I don't understand why this thing has colors, since it's probably going to be in the back of your TV, but the colors are called snow, sunrise, and sky.
Okay.
So pretty much like I don't know, I guess like a black and a pink and a blue, something like that. That's my guess. I don't know what.
Fair
And,
enough.
well,
Oh,
This is,
It'll
why would you have colors? But that's okay.
considering the thing's just hanging out the back of your TV, I guess that's of importance to some people. I don't know.
And that Netflix offers $89.99. So
Well, that's pretty good bang for your buck, so that's not bad.
yeah, so essentially $49.99 for the streaming device. Pay an extra $40 and get the Netflix for 6 months. So you save
Now,
in
this
a couple
device
months.
is available for pre-order now, but will
Yep.
only be out in mid-October. But as we were talking about before we came onto air, Nimmer, maybe best to wait. For
Yeah, a
those
lot of this
crazy
stuff
sales.
probably, between Black Friday and Christmas and all that, I'm sure we'll be seeing a few deals, but maybe not. I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe
If you're
not.
interested, feel free to pre-order. All right, the next device that's available for pre-order is the new Nest Audio. This is the new replacement to the Google Home speaker.
And apparently
And
we've
in
got
the
some
description,
interesting
the first thing that
things here.
says is amazing sound.
And it says
At
in
your
my article
command.
that I'm looking at adaptive volume to suit your ever increasing listening needs. Wow. That's a convoluted way of putting it.
So apparently this has 75% louder audio than the original Google Home, which is good, I suppose. It also supposedly has a bit more bass. It has a subwoofer and tweeter, which is good. So overall, it's supposed to be a bit of a better speaker, according to some of the unboxings I was looking at or some of the reviews that are already put out on YouTube. The bass isn't actually all that good, but who knows? And I know that these things do have EQ as well, so it's not
The
a
other
replacement
important
to the
thing-
Google Home Max. It's not
The other
that big of a
important
speaker.
thing, Nimmer, is it's got a apparently it's covered in fabric, front and back.
Yep. Supposedly a bit more premium of a device. I mean, the original Google Home speaker had some like a fabric base, so kind of a circular fabric base. If that's the one that you got, anyway. But you could get different bases for the thing. So this is certainly not a Google Home Max replacement, but it is a replacement to the original Google Home, which is pretty old by now. So
And I'll
And
just give
it seems
listeners
like
an
you're
idea
getting
of the
much better
size of
audio.
it. You're looking at a 6.9 tall, and then this is inches by 4.9 wide. So, not a huge thing. I guess it's maybe a tad bigger, is it? Just trying to work that out. What's that? 6.9, 7 inches basically, 7 by 5. Yeah, decent enough size.
it's also got a microphone switch instead of the button, so similar to the Home Mini. You're getting a switch instead of a button, which I like. I prefer switches to buttons. So
The interesting thing that I find about these sorts of speakers, and I always get worried about this, because it says here a media EQ function that will obviously make the audio sound, well, it says it will make the audio sound better depending on what sort of genre of music you're listening to. Me personally, I don't know. I hate things that play around with audio. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it copes. It might be really good. I don't know. I might try one out. I might actually buy one of these just to see what it's like. But I don't like things that tamper around with audio. It kind of annoys me.
Still, overall, seems like an upgrade to the existing Google Home. I mean, sound is a little
How
bit
much
bigger.
is this going for?
$99.
Okay, well, that's pretty reasonable.
So it's not any different than or actually, what was the original one? At $129. So actually, this one's a little cheaper even.
And that one is also available for pre-order today, as of today, but available in mid-October. So same as the Chromecast. So if you want to get a new Chromecast and a new speaker, you can go out and pre-order those now.
All right, so to the exciting part. Let me see. Do we have any messages? Many plastic phones. It's a remote made out of orange plastic. Yeah. I'm sure it is a plastic remote.
It probably is.
Okay. So I've got the hardware specs of the different Pixel devices. We've got a Pixel 4a 5G and a Pixel 5. There's two variants. One of the 4a 5G is the regular one that you can buy. And if you are on Verizon, then you're going to have a special one because the regular one does not support millimeter wave, whereas the Verizon one does. Don't know why this is the case. It's annoying. Frankly, it's stupid. But such is life. 6.2-inch screen for the Pixel 4a. Let's see here. Android 11. Okay. Let's see. 6.1 inch.
You're right. Yep.
2.1 width. Or no, 2.9 width, 0.3 inch depth. Has a 3,800 milliamp battery, so that is a bit bigger than the original 4A, but it should be since it has a higher end processor and 5G. 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs storage. Qualcomm 765G processor. 12.2 millimeter camera is the main shooter, and a 16 megapixel wide angle is on the back, so dual cameras, which is a change from the original Pixel 4a. 8 megapixel front camera. Video is definitely better. Looks like it's definitely improved. It does 1080p video at 30 and 60 frames per second. It does 4K as well, and 60 frames per second. So 1080p up to 240 and 4K at 60. So that's improvement for video. We have a proximity sensor. We've got ambient light sensor, accelerometer, magnetometer, pixel imprint, which is a back-mounted fingerprint sensor. Interesting. And a barometer and a spectral and flicker sensor. Charging USB-C, 18 watt. We also have reverse wireless charge. Oh, nope, not on this device. Sorry, not on the
4A 5G doesn't have that. No.
USB-C 3.1. Single nano SIM and an eSIM. Stereo speakers, 2 microphones, and stereo suppression. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, latest specs, Bluetooth 5, aptX HD, Wi-Fi 802.11.
Should be X, shouldn't it?
Nope, AC 2.2
still
or
AC.
2x2 MIMO. LTE, up to 4 carriers download, 2 upload. So not very good. It's okay. It's just not. It's not as high end as some other phones. 5G, up to 1 carrier, 100 megahertz. So again, it's not that great. It's okay. It's fine. Just black and clearly white are the 2 versions.
And keep in mind also, for listeners that do care, the 4A 5G does have a headphone jack, unlike the 5.
Yes,
So
we
if you
do have
care
a
about
headphone
that,
jack. It is
Get that.
polycarbonate plastic. Minimum 3 years security and OS updates. In the box, you're getting the normal stuff, the charger, the USB cable, a transfer adapter, and in Australia and I believe France, you're getting the earphones. But in the rest of the world, you don't get earphones. Sorry, too bad.
and the reason why they're probably doing that is because it would cost them a hell of a lot to ship them out to either of those locations.
1 year warranty in some countries, 2 years in other countries. Now, let's compare those to the 5, and you're going to hear me say this a lot of the same things. But I want to intentionally go through this here real quick. 6.0 inch display, which is actually a little bit smaller than the other one. 180 by 2340, 90 hertz display. So a little bit higher hertz,
Better display.
a little bit better display.
Yeah.
5.7 inch, 2.8 inch by 0.30 inch phone. So dimensions a little bit smaller.
Same thickness.
Yep, same thickness. 4,000 milliamp battery.
Slightly more, but not a huge amount.
8 gigs of RAM, which is higher.
So 2 gigs more of RAM, same hard drive,
Same processor,
same
765
processor.
G. Cameras are the exact same. Rear camera 12 and 16 megapixel wide. 8 megapixel front camera.
The one different, while you're coming up to it, it will be the charging side of it, though.
Yep, video's exactly the same.
Yeah.
The sensors are exactly the same, except this, well, not except, including, I should say, the fingerprint sensor. There is no Face ID on this year's Pixels. This one has a back-mounted fingerprint sensor as well. USB-C charging and wireless charging, which is good, and
So
reverse
this one
wireless
over the
charging.
other one offers the 2. Yeah, it offers wireless and reverse.
The other
Whereas
one
the
does not
485G
have wireless
doesn't.
charging. So
No.
this one does have wireless charging. USB-C, power button, volume controls, nano SIM, eSIM, stereo speakers, 3 microphones instead of the 2, and noise suppression. Wi-Fi, exactly the same. Bluetooth specs, exactly the same.
So that one's only supporting AC as well.
Yes.
Okay.
LTE, same exact specs, up to 4 carriers. 5G, essentially exactly the same. in the U.S., it seems like the 5G, there's a millimeter wave version, and I'm not sure. What we don't know yet is if that's all the unlocked models or just a specific Verizon model. We do know that it is very specific to Verizon on the Pixel 4a 5G. We are not sure about the 5, if that one, and if you go to try to order the Verizon model, it shows as being unavailable. And there's two different model numbers. So could very well be that there's a special version for Verizon on that one as well. But according to Google's support site, it will work with Verizon, AT&T, and a few other carriers. So, yeah. Colors, just black and sort of sage, which I guess is a green.
Well, this will be the other interesting thing coming up here, which I'm sure you're going to mention, Emma, regarding its build, which won't impress Warren.
Yep, so the same things come in the box that I mentioned before, nothing new. Security, minimum 3 years. Security and OS. Materials, 100% recycled aluminum enclosure. And Gorilla Glass 6 IP68 water resistant rating, which does not exist on the other one.
Yeah.
So a
you
little
can
bit
dunk it in your
more
sink.
premium of a build.
Yeah. So basically, you can't dunk the 4A 5G, but you can the 5.
That's right. And looks like the warranties are the same, 1 year in the U.S. and a few countries, and 2 years in other countries. I'm guessing that's just the laws depending on each country and what they require. Now the price on this one, $700. The 4A 5G, $500. The 4A 5G on Verizon, $600. So those are the Pixel 4As, 5Gs, and 5s. Let us know what you think about those. You can feel free to email us, anatadpodcast@gmail.com, or leave your comments in the video if you're watching this live. Me personally, if you want to ask my thoughts on this, I would say get the 4A 5G. I honestly wouldn't get any of these devices, and I am always the one who gets a Pixel device, but I will not be getting any of these. None of these interests me. The 5G is already outdated before it even got released. The network hardware just isn't very good. It's okay. It's just not very good. The processor is lower than number of devices out there. I feel like the price, even though I've seen a lot of reviewers say it's a fair price, I personally don't think it's a fair price when I compare it to something like the Galaxy S20 Fan Edition that just got released, or even the OnePlus 8T that we're expecting. I don't know. There's a number of devices out there that I feel are going to provide a better value.
Well, the other thing also, Nima, is you've got to think about, I guess, the differences mainly between the two devices essentially are that the 4A 5G offers a headphone jack, which the 5 doesn't.
Yep.
The 5, obviously, you can dunk in water. The 4A 5G, you can't. So if that's important, if you're accident prone, then you might want to get the 5.
5 is probably
The
a bit more
5 offers-
sturdy and just a general
The 5
better
is more
build.
sturdy, I think, and a better build, but also the 5 does offer wireless charging, so if that's important to you, then you'd want to get the 5 over the 4A 5G. What else was there?
The battery's a little bigger.
Battery's a tad better, but I mean...
Yeah. The one thing
Whether
that you
you
want to be
will.
careful of when you get the 4A or the 4A 5G is get a screen protector, because they do not have Gorilla Glass, which means they will scratch a lot easier. So if you're getting any of these devices, the 4A or 4A 5G, be sure that you have a screen protector on that baby, because they will scratch.
Oh, and I guess the other thing to keep in mind as well is if you are with Verizon and you want to get the 5, you want to make sure you keep abreast of what's going on with regards to millimeter wave support.
Yeah, and I would say if you're on
It's not really
Verizon,
announced
don't
yet.
even bother with the 4A 5G. Spend a little extra more and get the 5. I mean, there's literally $100 worth of difference, and if you're getting them on deals or something, it wouldn't even be that much. So, I wouldn't personally get the 4A version on Verizon. It's just me.
The other cheeky thing, which well, all manufacturers do this, but it's very cheeky. The more you read that it looks like the 4A 5G, instead of being released in November now, is probably going to be released closer to Christmas.
Yep.
And it's very cheeky that they do that because they obviously want to sell their
money out of
fives.
that 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another thing you want to keep
But
in
I would
mind. If
not
you're happy
wait
to wait
to
a
get
few
the
months.
5 unless you're going to get a really good deal on the 5. I personally would save the $200 and get the 4A 5G unless you care about wireless charging or you want to slightly. And the thing is, the durability doesn't even matter all that much because you're probably putting it in a case.
True.
So if you're putting it in a case, what does it matter if the thing's aluminum or glass or plastic or whatever it is?
I have to say I'm in the same sort of thought process as you, and yeah, I don't know. None of these phones actually really excite me at all. I know that there's some people out there that are very excited, especially with the 4A. I actually almost think that I'm probably more excited with the 4A now, and I wasn't like this before. I definitely was more thinking the 4A 5G, but I mean, I guess if you're going to get bang for buck, maybe the 4A is the best one to go for out of that lot, but I don't know. There's nothing really there. I mean, if I had a 4
version just to get the bigger battery.
To get the bigger battery, yeah. But I think if you've got a 4, and even if you've got a 3, I was talking to somebody today, mutual friend of ours, Nimmer, that, you know, has got the 3. I don't even know if you bother updating to the 5. But the processor is just... I mean, you could get yourself the OnePlus...
Yeah.
Or I'm trying to think of the other one that we talked about in a few podcasts ago that's got a 730G. I mean, the processor's not that much worse, and you're saving a few $100s. So
No,
I
think
know.
that 765 processor is compared to something probably like the Pixel 2 processor.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's, you're getting a lower end processor. The LTE modem is fine on T-Mobile. It's okay.
That Wi-Fi doesn't excite me at all.
On most carriers, you're just not getting very fast LTE performance especially on AT&T, because they have up to something like 7 carrier aggregation. You can only do 4 on that device, so you're going to be hamstringed by what the performance ability are. I mean, you might not care. You'll still be able to download your data and your videos, but it's still something to know that you're already out of date. And,
now, for Wi-Fi, I mean, for most people, it's not going to matter. But for you guys, like if you've got super duper internet, like some people have over there, and especially in Asia,
you have
and parts of Asia,
router, which if you've bought your router in the last couple of years, you probably have an AX router. Then you're going to care that this thing does not have AX. Otherwise, I'm not sure how much it matters, but
it probably doesn't matter unless you've got super duper internet. But if you do have super duper internet, then you definitely going to notice.
But just to know that you're already out of date in terms of Wi-Fi as well.
Well, you are. AC's been around for, I don't know, 8 years. Long time.
Yeah.
So
your Wi-Fi performance, you're already out of date.
I'm personally a little disappointed. I mean, I know it's reasonably cheap and everyone's crowing about, oh, wow, they've saved price. Well, I should hope that they've made it cheaper with what's in there, to be frank. And I don't know. It's not one that I'll be worrying too much about. I'm sure that people that are fanboys of Google will think that it's reasonable, but I honestly don't. Even fanboys, I don't know if you're really going to be that excited. There's not a huge amount there to really go on with, I would have thought.
Of course, you do get the Pixel experience, and it is worth talking about. You get the software, you get the new Google Assistant features that may or may not roll down to other devices. One cool feature they announced was you can put someone on hold, or if you're on hold, then you can have your Google Assistant listen out, and it'll let you know when you're done being on hold, when there's actually a human on the line. So there's some Google Pixel very specific features that you get as a result of being a Pixel owner. I think you get something like 3 months of Google One storage or membership. You get just the overall buttery smoothness of using a stock Android device,
And the other nice thing, I think
they've
announced
nice camera,
also
the best camera on any phone, essentially.
Yeah, I think that other nice thing that will matter to a lot of people is you do actually get 3 years of OS updates and everything else. So that's kind of cool. That's good to know.
And the audio is generally pretty decent. The mics are usually relatively decent. I don't know what these ones are going to be. So you are getting pretty decent devices.
It's a nice device, but
But
what
in
I'm
terms of
saying
the
is, if you've
hardware,
got a
it's
4 or a 3, I don't know.
yeah, if you have a 4, I would
Up to you.
definitely not upgrade. You're going to be getting a downgrade if you upgrade. The only reason I would
Yeah.
upgrade is if you really want that fingerprint sensor back. Otherwise, you're getting a downgrade,
Well, you're also losing the squeeze feature.
and you're losing the squeeze feature. Yep.
So if you care about that, then yeah, well, you won't have that unless you download an app that'll do it. But yeah, what was that app
So
that we recommended? Side Squeeze
Side squeeze plus. Yep.
Plus. But
So you're
yeah,
essentially getting a downgrade. Yeah, well, I don't know. This is one
Anyway,
year I will not
let's,
be, unless one happens to magically fall in my hands or I get a really, really good deal on it, which it would have to be a really good deal. I just can't see myself spending any dollar on the Pixel 5.
well, I guess the other thing
Or
we
the
can put
4A.
out there, Nimmer, is that if anyone from Google is out there listening and they think that we're wrong, please feel free to send us one. We're more
Yes.
than happy to play around with one and review it. But I
Yep,
yeah, I
Team
don't think I'll be
Pixel,
spending
hello.
money on it. Indeed.
You guys send out review units to all the nice reviewers. How about us? Hello.
All right.
All right. Well, if anybody has any questions about these devices or anything else that we've talked about, please let us know. Feel free to email us, anatadpodcast@gmail.com. Send us any questions that you may have. Also, please like and share this out to all your friends. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe so that you can get free future updates. And we appreciate you coming on with us today. And we'll see you all next time. Happy
Thank you,
Podcast
Emma.
Day. Thank you all very much. Goodbye.
Indeed. Thank you, listeners. We'll catch you on the weekend for the regular show.
Yes, goodbye from Russia.
And goodbye from Russia/Greece.